Hello everyone, welcome to RedTeam Security Summit Season 3 2020 organized by RedTeam Hacker Academy. First of all, I would like to thank Red Team Hacker Academy for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And I would like to thank Mr. Jaisal Ali also on this occasion. We are facing a world disaster, which is COVID 19. We are taking lot of precautions against this. But what about the cybersecurity? Behalf of this pandemic, lot of cyber crimes have happened. You heard lot about this, and now I'm gonna speak something about the bugs, the road towards the bugs. Before that, I am Aswin Govind. I'm a teacher, trainer, from RedTeam Hacker Academy. I'm an ethical hacker. I'm doing penetration testing. I'm a bug bounty hunter, and I am a CTF player also. So let us start. The modern life in which people are living in the year 2020 is moduled something by the use of internet, beginning with the reading current news or checking the weather. The reasons for using the internet are becoming more and more with where every single day. During the past 25 years, the appearance of websites in the world wide web, which is the www, has changed the static text, giving the user specific information to something like to the dynamic web application, which are constantly connected to multiple servers, then interacting with the user and delivering the everybody with a different experience in usage. Today it is possible to transact the money, or we can get in touch with all the friends, or we can share the data with specific user or specific groups, or just we can spend time by playing games. With this constant improvement and something like evolutions of web services, the number of vulnerabilities of web application has been rising as well. Due to this increase, the importance of developing new method to secure this media is also has been growing. One of the most important aspects from the security point of view is to ensure the three main goals of the security in information, which are given as a term like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. To understand the principles of how to find vulnerabilities regarding the previous some kind of mentioned factors, it takes a long time of studying and practical experience and searching some kind of security flaws. So assuming that a person has a good technical understanding of a web application security, it is still necessary to update the technical knowledge on the daily basis, because there are new exploits found by the multiple security researchers all over the world. In order to happen a web application, it takes a long period of testing by security specialists, which is called penetration testing. The current situation is that only the factor of existing web application in the web as something like the target of such security evaluation. The main reason is that these tests are expensive and not affordable by the some kind of most of the website operators. So there is also a lack of security awareness. For example, in the top level management of bigger companies, which leads to some kind of, we can say, that misunderstanding as well, or why they should pay high amount of money to the or high amount of money for the test, which is not bringing any improvement at the first sight. So as a relatively new alternative, which means It's growing like in the past year is a community help. For personal reasons, there have already existed many different possibilities in the web to ask for others for something like for you asking some others for the help which have special knowledge in specific field, for example like in a discussion forums. However, the companies which is asked to the community to help for a long time due to the information disclosure reason. Now more and more business understand that there can be benefit from the widespread skills of numerous specialists around the world. I think by allowing them to helping the organizations. So concerning the security of websites, there have been crafted a few different platforms which collect the uniform resource locator, which is the URL, or several websites which including some kind of short briefing of which is a part allowed to investigate in which the operation should be avoided. So one of the platform is, we can say that, the bug crowd, or we can say that the hacker one. These are the platform which we can for using some kind of security of websites. So before that, I'm gonna talk about the bugs. Actually, what are the bugs? Okay, there's a really a cool historical things that happened way back in the olden days. Back in 1960s, when the computer were in the size that would have a fit into an auditorium or that can be fit into a gymnasium like that, and all the connections and all the inside that computer is made by some kind of mechanical switches, and that would actually be electrical switches that would move back and front like that. The switches we can move in kind of mechanical movements, and we can one of the switches was once which is not working. It wasn't closing properly and it caused the everything to be just be a wrong. And finally the technicians from the which we can say that area or that field, they try to crawling around in that some kind of inside portion or inside the portion of the computer, and they just found that when they pull that pin out, then the everything worked properly, and it was termed as, or it was the first computer bug which they identified. And from that point, the software errors are called bugs. So because it stops everything from working the proper way, so we can term the bug, what we can term that is a software bug is an error or flaw or fault in a computer, just like a program which is causing the system to produce an incorrect or unexpected result, to behave in an unintended ways. So bugs can trigger errors, or they may have some kind of ripple or bad effects or side effects. We can say that side effects. Bugs have some kind of subtle effects or cause the program to be crashed or freeze in the computer. If if there is one thing that the programmers or the developer should need to know is, or when the output to the code is not functioning as intended, is that the term is bugs. So maybe it's maybe our own code in our own code, or it's maybe in someone else. Bugs are sometimes it's related to the code error, or we can say that sometimes it can be related to its functioning. We can say also that the something that didn't quite render correctly, or it causes something or some other kind of functioning, or we can any other kind of thing which can be also be malicious. Even a bad people or a bad hacker utilize that. So considering on that side of an organization that have to face lot of financial issues or expenses for treatment of that those bugs, of finding of that bugs, that's the beginning of concept, the bug bounty. So bug bounty has a cool history, which on related, which is there is a cool history. I think on the October 1995, October 1995, the Netscape launched the very first bug bounty program, which offered a cash reward to those who were able to find the security bugs in their beta, which is Netscape Navigator 2.0. And the peoples in the community, which they encourage a lot of peoples from the community and the organizations also, and it will help them, or this bug bounty program made us successful and find lot of vulnerabilities and lot of bugs from that website and application, and it will, or it help them to continue to create product of highest quality. Then after some time, I defense also, which is uh, started on 2002, it's initiated. Then after, the Mozilla bug bounty also started on 2004. Mozilla bug bounty also started. Then other many other organizations also started the bug bounties. Then the story of bug bounties are still, it's in the early chapters. So even now, Microsoft, Apple, Google, and all others are, which like all those company runs the bug bounty programs in the softwares, and also we can say that the web applications, and offering about $100,000 and above as it's in the reward for discovery of critical bugs or critical vulnerabilities. The reward size has been increased with popularity and legitimacy, which is higher, or the critical bugs they're given amount of huge amount, they're given huge amount. And the Google also increased their reward about 10 times greater than the 2010. Then India takes the top spot for bug bounty hackers in the worldwide. So there is a report which is released the Inside the Mind of Hacker 2020, which is done by the bug crowd, and you can download it there, and you can read it, how the mind of a hacker in 2020. And it was found that the number of bug hunters from India grew up to 83 percentage from the previous year. India has now taken or overtaken the US, which was knocked to the second place with I think 10 percentage of background user for the first time. So the magazine tell that in the inside the mind of a hacker, there is lot of information that we can find. It talk about the annual report and highlights that the latest composition of humans in the bug crowd platform. You can read everything, or you can download it from by using your email, and it's surveyed about 3493 hackers, and that gives lot of their reports or some kind of analyzing how the hackers doing or what are the minds of the hackers. You can read it there. All about 70 percentage of which is the all the hackers are strongest in the web application testing, and the rest of them are which is skilled on network pen testing or recon or assist discovery and android pen testing also. Then we can find that at the starting beginning of bug bounty, the USA is in the 79th or the first position. Then after the India becomes the most first position now in the year of 2020. So we can conclude that India have achieved or the Indians achieved a lot of things from the bug bounty. So you have so much chance nowadays, and you can encourage to your daily earnings in the field of bug bounty. And you can read the report, and you can you can identify how the hackers education and they moving their life with every single things are explained in this report. Okay, you can read it there. So a bug is never just a mistake. It is a represent to something bigger or an error of thinking that makes you who you are. Just we can say that the bug is actually. So what we can understand, there's a rapid growth in the adoption of bug bounty programs over the past decades. Every day, more organizations are doing or adding the bug bounty model. That includes a large enterprise as well as small or medium sized enterprise. So, the topic is how we can find the path or how we can find the way towards these bugs. The main motivation is all that the money. The money, that's why everyone gets into the bug bounty hunting or bug bounties. It's not a good way if you are approaching a bug bounty hunting. Money is all, but first we want to learn, then you can start the earning. So you have to learn from the scratch, which means from the beginning or starting with no advantage or something like no prior preparation. But you have to know some basics also, like the web programming languages or some kind of Linux commands, Bash commands, or some kind of Pythons like that. So, new bug bounty hunters should narrow their focus to something like to allow them to get familiar with a specific vulnerability or some kind of vulnerability types, and to get really or get into the grips with it. So actually, newbies are advised to start with a small or go for a simple bugs. That's like hanging small fruit bugs. Okay, and really understand the end-to-end process before trying to hit those bigger targets. Focus on specific type of vulnerabilities. So I would like to talk to the beginners how to become a bug bounty hunter in 2021. So I will give you a brief some kind of explanation for the beginners to learn in the bug bounty platform. So actually, what is a bug bounty? Oh, who is the guys which is bug bounty hunters? If you have some knowledge of this domain, let make me a clear for you that is all websites or the programs, softwares, and applications are created with something like writing codes in various programming languages. And when you are think as a developer, your focus is on some kind of functionality of a program. Your job is to define a specific function and some kind of running it without or with a specific output. That's the way of a developer does. So but sometimes things goes to wrong. If an application behave differently from some kind of our intended actions or intended behavior. So let me give you an example or explain with that. If you are creating a web page which has a login page, then it should require a username and a password. So but user can log in think that if a user can log in just by entering the username and without a password, now the intended behavior for the login page is which is make a code error or some kind of bugs in that code. So this is due to the bugs in that coding. So the term bug bounty, which meaning that finding technical errors in the coding scripts that can be compromise the security, or we can say that, or of any applications, some kind of validating and reporting the error to a concerned authority, and in return you get a reward in kind of kind of money, services, or swag, t-shirts, etc., or some kind of recognition like hall of fames, oh, like that. So if you find a vulnerability and you most of the critical bugs, you should report to the company. If you find and report the most critical bugs like an injection attack or ssrf, they could be rewarded in several $1,000 or much more. That's the person who known as bug bounty hunters. So, before learning how to become a bug bounty hunter, you need to jump to the main topic, which is uh, like let me clear that the most important thing. You should only step into this field when you are genuinely interested. Otherwise, you will get soon disappointed. It's definitely not a scheme that to make some kind of quick money. So in other hand, if you have a genuine interest to learn this kind of or a passion to work hard, then it's the one of most best career option in the technology industry. Without other further, let's start how to which is start the bug bounty hunting. So what you need to study to become a successful bug bounty hunter? So I will give, or I will tell the some kind of names which you must follow, or some kind of steps if you want to become a bug bounty hunter. First you must clear the basics. If you are not from the computer background or computer science background, first you need to clear all the basics. Many people fail to become a successful in this profession because of this. So since they skip the basics and directly jump into the land to, or directly jump how to learn the or how to become a bug bounty hunter. So you need to cover all the basics or the fundamental study topics. So you need to go through the computer fundamentals, internet, http, then tcp/ip model, osi model, all those things, and you need to cover all those things, how the ip address works, how the dns works, and how the, which is, we can say that the protocols, all the protocols, all those things work. You need to cover every single basics or the fundamentals. So for a complete syllabus, you even search online, or you can search for the computer science students. You can check the syllabus of computer science student and go through it and understand all those things. Then you need to know about the command line interface, which is shell, or you can you need to know some the operating system like Linux, Windows, or Linux must be the best operating system for the bug bounty hunters. They have lot of tools, and they're providing lot of tools, which is most of them are freely available, and you can use it for the testing environments, all those things. Then after, you need to learn some kind of web technologies like HTML, JavaScript, and PHP. You can learn that. And after some kind of basic HTML knowledge and some kind of studying JavaScript, and after the PHP methodology, you can, if you know about the JavaScript, you can easily dedicate it to the cross-site scripting attack. That's completely based on the JavaScript. So therefore, you should learn the JavaScript as much as you can. So it's going to be the top most programming language in the near future. And the backend, you need to learn PHP, Java, ASP.NET, all those things, but not to become a master on this. Just some kind of decent knowledge is more enough. So you need to master at least one programming language, which is a Python or Ruby. So moreover, for finding a bug, you need to exploit it in and check it for how to exploit. And so you must know about the programming language is the Python. So I would like to recommend you should master in the Python. So it's easier. I think it's easier. Then after, you can choose a path to become a bug bounty hunter. Is the way you need to, the next step is understanding how the bug bounty hunter is choosing a path. So there is mainly three field in the bug bounty, which is, first one is web penetration testing, or we can say that web pen testing. Then after, mobile penetration testing, then desktop application penetration testing. So if you have a good knowledge in the web application technologies and some kind of computer networking, so you can choose or go through the web pen testing. Oh, and if you are working for Android or iOS application, then you can go to the some kind of mobile pen testing. If you are free, or if you know the mobile application penetration testing, or if you are work with the familiarized with the desktop softwares, you can do or go to the pen testing on the desktop applications. So it is completely for you, or it's up to you. You need to decide what path you must choose in the bug bounty. And so mostly, we have already seen the report, which is most of the hackers know the how to hack the or how to test the web applications. The 70 percentage of hackers know how to test the web application, but only few of them are known to Android application penetration testing and network penetration testing, and etc. So there is lot of resources we can available in the public itself. You can read some kind of write-ups or the walkthroughs, and you can go through some from the whole, so we can say that you can go through, even you can, how can we say that, uh, go through the medium. You can go through medium, and that's the way. If you want to find a cross-site scripting, you can type it, cross-site scripting space medium. Then the write-up will provide you every information about that vulnerability or that bug. So one way that you need to go through is by reading the write-ups or reading the walkthroughs. Then some kind of Important books, I will recommend that you can buy it from the Amazon or buy it from the RedTeam Hacker Academy. There is some kind of web application Hackers Handbook or the Ethical Hacking 101, Hackers Playbook, or the Art of Exploitation, or Mastering Modern Web Application, or Wasp Testing Guide, or Mobile Application Handbooks. All those things you can prefer how to learn all those things. Then you can read videos from the YouTube, or you can read the articles, you can read the blogs, you can read the write-ups. All those things you can done it by yourself, and you can go through the medium or the hacker one public reports, and you can watch over the conference, different conference like this, or a team summit, all those things. And the main thing is the GitHub or the GitHub pages. So this is the way you can learn the how these bugs or actually how to find the bugs, or how to identify those bugs. So you need to choose a platform. There is a lot of many different platforms for the bug hunting. Since if you are a fresher in this field, you can choose, or you can need to follow a different methodology to find a bug bounty platform. So most of the hackers are using the famous platform in the bug crowd and hacker one. You can choose your, it's exactly up to you. You can choose anything, or some kind of less crowded area platform, or less competitive platforms. So in order to do so, you find those platform by your methodology. I do not recommend it, that is this platform is less crowded, or this platform is less competitive. I can't or I can't, I do not recommend that like that. So, and these platforms are the one that don't offer monetary benefits. They provides recognition points and some kind of reputation only, and not exactly some bounty. So you can choose those also. So reputations are mostly it's gain for your coming future. So when you are just starting out, you should not run for the money. Instead, you need to focus on experience, reputation points, and hall of fames. Okay, that's the best way to for you. Then choosing a bug to work on. Choosing a bug. So you need to choose a, or you need to select a good platform for bug bounty hunting, or you can choose by yourself from kind of private bug bounty hunting or bug hunting. It's an, then when you select a good platform for bug hunting, and decide some kind of particular website or application to find bugs. Now the step is to you, some steps you need to decide is whether you need to find for a cross-site scripting or injection, or some kind of any other. So you need to do it systematically by focusing on one type of bug at a time. So once you select for a specific type of bug, you need to do an excel or some kind of search, or finding all the endpoints, and apply all the knowledge to find those kind of specific type of bug. So finding bug, it will not be straightforward. And even in case if you find something easily and report it, there are huge chances that it has been already the other security consultant or security analyst reported. So then it will get duplicate flag or duplicated, or it should be, or it will come to the not applicable area. So there is no boundary is rewarded. So you must find it earlier as other before the other hackers are done its. So that is a important thing you need to know. Then how to create reports? You can read the hackerone, and there which is mention you mention a great reports, and the procedure, all those things are mentioned in there. Okay, then I will show you how the cross-site scripting is, how impactful is that. Let me show you. So what is cross-site scripting? So let me tell you, it is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to compromise the interactions that user have with a vulnerable application. So it is a type of injection in which a malicious scripts are injected into the trusted website. So the excesses occurs when an attacker uses a web application to send the malicious code, generally in the form of a browser side script, or sending to a different end users. Sorry, there is a lot of things to say about the cross-site scripting, and the end user have or has a no way to know that the script should be a trusted, and they will the end user will execute the script. Then because it thinks that the script came from a trusted source, the victim just think that that must be came from a trusted source, and the malicious scripts can access any cookies from the session, or the malicious script can access some kind of session tokens or some kind of cookies, or they can even like steal the other sensitive information from the or retained by the browser and use with that site. Even these scripts can rewrite the content of a HTML page. Then this is the data acquired from the actual ovasp.org. So I will show you a best example of stealing sensitive information of any user who is logged in. So let me show you. So let me do this quickly. I have a testing website which is done by the web app security academy, and it is a just like a commercial website, I think. Yeah, there is a this the website has a command box field, and we can command anything as like the normal websites. And I input a test command, and then after adding some kind of details, then I post the command. So we can see that the input is reflected the my command, and after I tested for any kind of rendering my HTML language in the command box. Let me try that. I tried to inject the header tag, and I added, then I post the command. Okay, yeah, let me check. Yeah, the HTML is rendering out the web application, so we can identify there is something is rendering. So the attacker, which is where they used to some kind of malicious scripts. So we can see that the input tag which is we used in the h1 tag is not validating. The developer does not have any validation methodology for that code. Then the user entered a malicious input to get some kind of sensitive information from the admin or the logged user. Then I added some kind of details. You can add any details, it's no problem. I posted commented the poster. Then we can see that there is some kind of username and password window. It's rendered by the HTML without, there is no validation of the code. So after sometimes I check the burp collaborator, we can see that the victim has sometimes logged in, and we can access his login history, or his data, or his cookie sensitive information. So let me show you. I tried to add my own data. Okay, I am adding, then the password. But the normal user which identify that it is not a good, or it's a some kind of fake, then he tries to remove it. And but the attacker have able to access the information that he used to type the, you can see that Aswin Govind 1366 at gmail.com. Yeah, that's the way. This much of severity have the cross-site script. That's why the organization are actually rewarding for, or rewarding this much of amount for this bug. And you can try it now. And the most important bug in the which is in the web security is, I think, after the information disclosure, it is cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting is still exist in every website, and you can try to find any injection points or input field that doesn't validate any user input. So you can try it on different methodology. And yeah, yes, I hope it's everything clear to you. So we can conclude that there is no web application which ensure any security level of 100%. As we can say, there is always remain at least a slight or an unexpected vulnerabilities in the web applications itself. So you need to find, or you need to choose your own way for finding bugs. So there should be, or some kind of advantage, that every single software or web application running on the internet, you should choose every single software which is you need to evaluate all those web application. You don't want to think, don't need to think that this web application is totally secure. There should be, or there might be, a single vulnerability existing in that some kind of web application. So it's also very important that then it's not possible to we can state that this bug, or which bug is more impactful. But previous year, every on the aspects or reports of the payout, the most impactful or most payout vulnerability is the cross-site scripting. And this graph shows that the most finded or vulnerabilities is, which is information disclosure and cross-site scripting. You can try this first of all on the every website. And it's really which is what we can say, it's really complicated, or it is there is lot of bug bounty programs. You can find the some differing from each other. uh, if you are doing some kind of bug bounty hunting on same target, which is you, if you are helping those corporates to secure their software, you need to apply different approaches by your own methodology. So first of all, you need to study, or you need to learn from the from any kind of methods. And after that, you need to apply those things in your own methodology in an ethical way. So sometimes the bug bounty is very competitive. Nowadays it becomes very competitive with, there is many peoples are applying on the same bug and on the same site or we can say on the same program itself. So there's a tip that you have to apply. So you need to choose a private bug bounties which is provided by the uh, company or the organization. So there's less hacker access and the target might be better. You can find lot of bugs in the, and you can try it there. So let me conclude that the most popular of the community advice is that, yeah, this choose this as a profession or a hobby. It's maybe no problem for that. The advice is that certainly you need to encourage yourself, and you need a commitment to this bug bounty hunting. It's not occurred by a single day. You need to practice every day. So you need to update everything, because you need to or some learn, keep learning, or it's always keep learning and updating every method. So hope it's clear to you. So I'm winding up this conference or this talk. So hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye, take care.